Hello, my name is Abby and I'm a leopard gecko owner. I've owned leopard geckos for around 2 years now. They are a type of reptile which originate from the rocky areas of Pakistan. I first discovered them in a local reptile shop with my partner. I've always wanted a pet, but as I live in a flat and have little time, I had to choose something convenient. Leopard geckos were perfect for me as they make little mess and only need feeding a couple of days of the week and they don't take up too much room. I've always been into exotic pets as they have different ways of living and I find this very interesting. They're extremely friendly and can be handled very well, plus they rarely bite. There are tons of different morphs with geckos, almost like different breeds of dogs. Like a lot of reptiles, as they grow their skin will shed and some will consume their shed. This is something they would do in the wild, so there is no trace of the gecko being there. In the vivarium they have 2 hives, one warm and one cold. Geckos are unable to regulate their own body temperature, so they need to have access to both warm and cold areas. Geckos prefer underbelly heat, so on the left side of my vivarium there's a gap between the wood and the piece of glass. This is where the heat mat belongs. The mat covers around 1/3 of the viv and the temperature of this side will be around 32 to 35 centigrade. The other side will be room temperature. The water dish then belongs in the middle, that way it won't get too warm or too cold. Great bonus with leopard geckos is when they do their business they choose a spot and go, and will always go there. This is Maggie and Margaret. Maggie and Margaret were my first geckos. I did have a group of 4, but the vivarium got very crowded, so the best option was to take 2 away. These 2 are about 2 years old, but leopard geckos live up to 10 years, so they're still pretty young. When it comes to feeding my geckos, I try my best to mix up the food and give them a variety such as locusts and mealworms, although Maggie tends to be fussy and only eats mealworms. I also give them a few waxworms as a treat. When I feed, I usually separate them and hand feed. This is so I can keep an eye on all my geckos and how they are eating properly. This is Mocha. She's the latest addition. I got her from a reptile show in Telford about 6 months ago. Mocha is great when feeding. She always eats and is never fussy. Occasionally when shedding, the shed will become stuck on the gecko's toes. This becomes a big problem as the shed becomes tight and they can lose toes. I'm just going to give her a warm bath to ease the shed off. So that's all of my geckos and how I care for them. They're great fun and surprise me every day. I can't wait to get more.